The answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey guys, it's Mugalore here, and welcome back to another segment of Versus Corner. We have a whole lot to cover because for the past couple of days, I don't know what's been going on. We've been hit with a powder keg of fighting game information, and it seemed like it started back with Nintendo and their announcement. So what was their announcement? Well, it seemed as though that Nintendo had a change of heart, change of mind, and they decided to take the Smash Brothers community on with having a professional esports circuit. That's right, they decided to have a professional circuit for the Smash community sponsored by Panda Global Gaming. And this sounds nuts. No one saw this coming at all. I know the Smash community, and if you look at the reaction from a lot of these pro Smash players, none of them seen this coming. Now, the thing that really shocks everybody is for the fact is that everybody just thought that, hey, okay, we have a professional circuit, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. No, they're also doing a circuit for Super Smash Bros. Melee. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, if you guys don't know the history with the Smash community and also with Nintendo, it's been kind of a rocky relationship because it seems like Nintendo just doesn't. They want no parts of the competitive Smash community at all. They do everything in their power to put out that fighting game competitive spirit when it comes to the Smash community. They try to stop a lot of professional events, and it seems like the grassroots Smash community does everything in their power to say, hey, Nintendo, if you won't support our game, we're going to do it ourselves. And they fight tooth and nail, and it seemed like that the community had finally gotten their break because now they have a chance to have a professional circuit of their own. Because come on, it makes sense. Nintendo, it's like sometimes Nintendo don't want money sometimes, because you look at Capcom, you look at Bandai Namco, NetherRealm Studios, and Arc System Works, they have professional circuits for their games. They support their community, and Nintendo refused to do it for some reason, and don't know why, but it seemed like they have a change of heart. But after that announcement, it seemed like this triggered a bunch of events moving forward as far as fighting games concerned, because right after that was made, then Warner Brothers came out and announced their multiverses, their take on the Smash genre or the fighting platform genre. They made their announcement, and I did a video on that. If you guys are interested and want to know more details on that, you definitely need to click on that video and leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. So after that announcement was made, about 2 days later, Riot Games officially made their announcement to show off some gameplay of Project L. Now, what is Project L? I'm not going to go through the whole history. I may do that for another video's own, but to summarize this, Project L is pretty much Riot Games cracking their scene, or cracking the fighting game scenes themselves with their games or with their franchise, which is League of Legends. League of Legends has always been a popular esports game, MOBA game that everybody loved. It seemed like the whole entire world, as far as the competitive scene is concerned, have pretty much loved, and it pretty much, I wouldn't say innovated the genre, but it pretty much became an industry standard for that genre, the MOBA genre, and it seemed like that other companies tried to follow that same formula. Of course, we have Dota 2, but League of Legends has become the most popular MOBA of date, and then Nintendo try to follow with their own MOBA type game for the Nintendo Switch, which you can check that out as well. Well, it looks like they're stepping their feet into the fighting game genre, because they already did their first-person shooter with Valorant. Now they're trying to do fighting games, and now Project L is one of them. Now Project L is being backed by the Cannon Brothers. Now, if you guys don't know who they are, these are the guys who pretty much invented EVO. They're the ones that pretty much started up EVO, and EVO now is one of the biggest fighting game events of all time. Here, not just in America, but throughout the entire world. Everybody know what EVO is, especially if you are in the FGC. And they are also pretty much the fathers of GGPO, which is the rollback netcode that we know for fighting games. They pretty much pioneered rollback netcode for fighting games. So when you hear rollback netcode, these are the guys right here, and these guys are helming this project down at Riot Games. And boy, they finally showed off some gameplay for Project L, and I must say that I'm not even a big League of Legends fan. I've never even played League of Legends. I know what League of Legends is because I see it all over the place. I played Dota 2, but I know what League of Legends is. I see their characters, they're iconic, they stand out, and like I said, it's very popular within the gaming industry. So the fact is that they're making a fighting game based on that franchise, I was like, hey, this is definitely going to be something that to keep our eyes out on. And then knowing the developers who are working on it, or who were also once part of the FGC, I started saying to myself that, hey, this game could be definitely in good hands. And they went ghost during the time they first announced it. They really had nothing to show, but then they came out a couple days ago that, hey, this is what we have, and this is what we want to show you. So Project L is pretty much an assist-based fighting game. Assist-based fighting game is pretty much, I guess you could say, essentially like a tag team fighting game, similar to what you see in Marvel vs. Capcom. We also seen some tag team features in Dead or Alive, even Mortal Kombat 9. Any game that had the tag feature, you tag in and out, but it seemed like this one favors heavily Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, because it seemed like you could freely tag characters in and out. And the thing is, I'm not really good at tag-based games, but I enjoy the tag-based games because of how crazy it is, the combos and the synergy, and knowing what characters to put together to come up with these crazy combos. And to see tag team based games, it brings a lot of hype from a spectator point of view when you watch it on a high pro level, and I'm super hyped for it. So they showed off about 4 of the characters, and they showed off what the characters could possibly do, and I like the direction they're going, because like I said, these guys are part of the FGC. They pretty much started Evo and everything, so they know what to look for. And it seems like today that fans of fighting games are creating better fighting games than the developers themselves. If you look at Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, I mean, these developers were once members of the FGC and pretty much still is, and they are big fans of the Marvel vs. Capcom, the Versus series. And you look at Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, and even though it started off as a small game, it's growing as far as the fan base is concerned, and it gives everyone that Versus game itch that people are looking for, since Capcom has pretty much fumbled the ball with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And now, if you look at Project L, it seems like they're taking that aspect of the Versus series, and then they're going to increase it and step it up even farther, which is pretty much a good thing. And like I said before, I know nothing about League of Legends in this characters. I don't know anything about the lore, but the character designs, like I said, when it comes to a fighting game, it's the character designs, it's the characters that pull you in. Once you get pulled in, and then at that point is whether or not if the game is actually fun to play. And rest assured, from what the brothers are saying is that, hey, they want to make this game fun on every level. So what they're trying to do as far as making it fun on every level, they want to make it accessible. Now, I know a lot of fighting game fans, pro players, or I guess you say the elites, they really don't like that term accessibility, because they think it means watered down gameplay mechanics. But what they want to do is they want to make it easy to get into, but they want to make it hard to master. They want to make it very much a very in-depth gameplay once you get your hand on the controller and actually want to take the character to the next level. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind simple inputs. Like I said, I much rather play a game that's easier for me to get in, because it makes it enjoyable, and that's what they want to do, make it enjoyable for every level. So if the game is easier to grasp, that means I'm able to enjoy it. Even if I'm losing and getting my butt kicked, I'm still able to enjoy it because I'm able to pull off some of the harder combos because of how the inputs are. But if you want to step things a step farther, then you actually have to dig into the nitty-gritty as far as the characters are concerned, understanding the characters, understanding the frame data, understanding the setups. So those high-level players will still be able to get their fix at the same time and be fiends to get what they want out of their fighting game. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for that. And because of the easy inputs, like I said, Power Rangers a Battle for the Grid, I love that game. Because of the easy inputs, I feel like a badass when I'm doing those combos. And if I wanted to learn the game, and it actually entices me to want to learn the game because I feel good. The game feels fun, and I feel good doing the combos that I'm doing because of that barrier to entry as far as inputs has been removed. So I do like that aspect, and I love that idea and that frame of reference that they're going for. And they did note that themselves, what you see in this video here, is that, hey, we're not making it to where a scrub can beat a pro. They're not going for that, but they want to make it accessible and fun on all levels. So I'm all for that. Now, netcode. They talked about the netcode and everything. They going for like a Super Saiyan rollback netcode. They're taking netcodes a step farther. Not only that, it's going to be rollback, they also going to have servers. So you're going to have netcode with servers. So that's going to ensure great connectivity, and they also said if someone does have bad a connection, only they will feel that bad connection and it won't affect you, and it's able to determine if someone rage quit or quit the game. It's able to know who to give the win to, which is also a good thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and they did say that this game is way off from now, definitely way off, so don't expect it next year. They're talking about almost a 2023 release, and that's fine because we have a lot of fighting games to look forward to going into next year, and just games in general. So I want them to take their time because I want the game to be as good as possible, because I definitely want to get into the game. I don't even know what characters I want to play. I have to look at League of Legends roster of champions in order to know what characters I would love to see in the game. But we're going to move on to the next game. The next game, it seemed like last night, I don't know what happened. Like I said, we've been hit with so many announcements. Right after Project L, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dungeon Fighters was announced. Dungeon Fighters, not announced, but revealed more information for Dungeon Fighters made by Arc System Works. They showed some more gameplay, and I must say that I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this game because there's a couple characters in there that I really want to try out. I want to try out the female fighter, the girl in the all orange, and she has the long ponytail. Her design looked badass. I definitely want to try her out. Her combos look sick, and the fact is that they're taking every class, just like what Project L is doing. They're taking champions in Project L and making them into characters. And it seems like with Dungeon Fighters, they're taking the different classes. They're taking classes. They have classes within classes and making them into fighters themselves, which I think is going to be a pretty good thing. Now, my only thing that I'm worried about is that recently, with a lot of Arc System games they've been dropping games back to back. Hopefully, this game feels different, because a lot of Arc System games of recently, when you look at Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, when you look at Guilty Gear, Strive, and you look at Dragon Ball Fighters, as far as their control scheme and everything, they kind of feel the same. Even though they have different speeds and movements and stuff like that, they still kind of feel the same as far as control layouts and everything like that. So hopefully they're going to introduce some different gameplay mechanics, and hopefully make it feel a little bit different. It don't feel like the other titles that they have really released within the past 5 years or so. So Dungeon Fighters is looking gorgeous. I can't wait. And of course, on top of that, Dungeon Fighters is coming out with their new MMO, which I'm looking forward to try, and we'll definitely cover that on this channel. But oh my god, we just been hit with so much fighting game information, and it seems like Nintendo had triggered it all, and it seems like that everybody is trying to get a piece of that fighting game pie right now. Everybody's fighting for that space. Everybody's saying, hey, screw those guys, check out what we got. So now I'm just saying to myself, is there any more announcements coming from other companies? Because this is getting ridiculous. Really ridiculous in a good way. But that pretty much covers this news and information as far as fighting games is concerned. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Project L? Do you think Project L is going to move the fighting game genre forward? How do you think this is going to impact the competitive scene as far as how fighting games is seen in the limelight or the light of it being an esport? Because we know when it comes to esports, fighting games are at the very bottom of the totem pole as far as payouts when it comes to its players. It's still like new. They still haven't figured out a good formula to pretty much push fighting games forward in a more of a professional setting. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Project L? What do you think? When do you think the game is going to be released? And what characters would you love to see in Project L? And then, of course, Dungeon Fighters. What do you think about Dungeon Fighters? From what we've seen, Arc System has this habit of just showing off small bits of like 30-second, trailers, which really don't have much, but it leaves you enough to be hungry for more. Definitely, I want to hear your thoughts. Have you ever played Dungeon Fighters when it was a PvE multiplayer MMO back in the early 2000s? If so, definitely let me know. What do you think about the classes they could potentially add into the game? Do you think the game's going to have some type of story mode? I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, we talked about this in its own video, but what do you think about the Warner Brothers multiverses? I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. So that pretty much wraps up this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with more fighting game news and information, hit that bell to be notified and hit that subscription button. This is Mugen Lord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.